Hey, what's up, Internet? So today I'm going to take you guys through my general approach for getting a fat sounding snare. Alright, so here's the snare that we're working with. So it's a pretty awesome sounding snare if you ask me. Alright, so now I'm going to let you guys listen to the snare in just the drum mix. Alright, and now I'm going to solo out the snare. So yeah, that snare is sounding pretty huge. Alright, so here's what the snare sounds like without any of the effects on it. You'll notice that it's a lot quieter. So yeah, that's what that sounds like. For the snare samples, I'm using Steven Slate. Actually, I'm using Steven Slate for all the drum samples. I'm using Snare 13. That's what that sounds like. And then I'm using this snare. That's what that sounds like. This sample came with a bottom mic sample as well, but these two basically sound identical, so I just took this one out completely. So yeah, that's the snare samples. Alright, so the first thing in the chain is this channel EQ. All I'm doing is cutting out unnecessary lows, so I'll let you hear what it sounds like. So that's that. Alright, so the next thing in the chain is an expander. So I'm using this basically to bring the overall volume of the snare up. I'm not entirely sure what an expander is for. This is just what I'm using it for. It seems to be controlling the transient a little bit too, so I'll just let you hear what it sounds like. So that's that. Alright, next thing in the chain is a compressor. Alright, so for the compressor, I'm just basically adding more sustain in the snare. I've got a pretty fast attack for a snare compressor, as you can see here. So really only the very beginning of the transient is getting through, so I'll let you hear what that sounds like. So just add some more sustain there. Alright, the next thing is another EQ, so this is the main EQ. So I'm cutting out some more lows since I had a compressor, and I'm boosting the body here, and then I'm boosting some highs. This frequency right in here just sounds weird whenever I boosted this, so I ended up cutting it out, or notching it out, so that's what that looks like. So I'll let you guys hear what the EQ is doing. Sounds fuller, and the high end sounds a bit smoother. So you can kind of hear that frequency. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of a harsh sounding frequency, I guess. I just don't like the way it sounds. Alright, so here's the body. So you can see it sounds much fuller with that band engaged. So that's the EQ for the snare. Alright, the next thing in the chain is a bit crusher. It's the Logic stock bit crusher. I'm basically using this as a clipper. So this is what it sounds like. So you can hear it's really cutting that transient there. Alright, so that's that. And the last thing here is a limiter. It's just kind of to control any peaks that happen. It's really not doing much at all. Actually doesn't seem to be really doing anything. I might just take that off. So now we've got the reverb. So here's what the snare sounds like with the reverb. So as you can tell, the snare sounds much more alive with that reverb engaged. So I'll take you guys through the reverb. I'm going to solo out the reverb so you can hear what that sounds like. So for the reverb, I'm using this. It's one of the Logic stock reverbs. I'm using the Big Room preset, and I left all of this at default except for over here. I think this was higher and this was lower, so I just took the dry completely out, and so there's only the wet signal since I'm sending the snare to the reverb. And then over here, I messed with it a little bit. I don't think I messed with any of this here, but I did add this this high pass and this low pass. I decreased the width a little bit just so it's a little bit more focused, and I think I left this at default. So it's mainly controlling the low end a little bit more. So that's that. So I've got this EQ on the reverb. I'll turn it on and off so you can hear what it sounds like. So with this on, it's a much more mid-focus sounding reverb, which I like. It kind of adds to the tone of the snare. So I'll turn each band on and off so you can hear the difference. So that's that, and the last thing I have here is a limiter. So I'll let you hear what this sounds like. So it's not doing a whole bunch, just kind of controlling some peaks and boosting the overall loudness. So yeah, that's that. Alright, so this last send right here is just this limiter. I'm sending the whole kit to the limiter. This limiter isn't really doing much to the kit until the toms hit, so you'll be able to see that here. And so that's that. I'm basically using the limiter to bring the overall loudness of mainly the kick and the snare, and I guess the toms. So I'll turn it on and off so you can hear the difference. Alright, so that's how I got the snare for this mix. I'll let you guys listen to it in the mix one more time.